Okay. I saw that. So that, why Yeah. All right, keep going. All right, welcome everyone. James, you want to kick us off here?
Sure, if you'll please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Excellent. And now we're going to recite the four-way test of Rotary, the things we think, say, and do. We're going to emphasize the bold text here. First.
Is it the truth?
Second.
Is it the
Third. Fourth. Excellent. Fifth.
Is it fine?
All right, good job.
Bacon.
All right, thank you. Eileen.
Yes, today's quote comes to us from Bill Gates. Vision without execution is daydreaming.
Let's ponder that one for a second. Yes. Thank you. Visitors, Mary?
Good morning. I'm visiting because I'm not officially transferred. So Mary Templeton, Superintendent, Lake School District, Camas Washington Rotary, 6-year member. They're in the process of transferring my membership. So glad to be here and hello everybody on my team.
The first ever speaker, Josie, welcome. Birthdays, we have none this week. Anniversary of James, Angie, is that tomorrow?
It is tomorrow, yes, 5 years, thank you very much.
No Rotary anniversaries. Some announcements, next 2 Fridays will be at the Buzz Inn for the meeting. This building will be off limits for us. Want to thank Gary, Jack, Chris, and Eileen for stepping up and anchoring our farmers market booth.
What great, by the way.
Yep. So.
Yeah.
Mr. Rocks. Let's keep our sponsorships, let's keep those going. If you've done sponsorships in the past, reach out to those people again. Tracy, is she online or Tracy's not here? I want to thank Tracy and Dave DeWarm, the $2,000 donation. And then a reminder, we have that Hands Across the Border on the 23rd, so if anybody can attend that, that'd be great. Tashley, welcome.
Hi there. Thank you.
I have your new members packet here. I was planning on presenting to you, but I don't think I can get it through that screen, so. Reports. Jack?
I'm not the treasurer.
You are today. Emphasize not.
Yes, I not a lot to say, that I know about anyway, but yeah, thanks to Tracy, but that's a really nice dinner.
Gary?
Simple reminder, board meeting on Wednesday night, August 14th at the Lake Stevens Community Food Bank. Where are we going to be at Tuesday night?
Brewery.
At the brewery for our friendly little get together. We still need sponsors. I had printed out what Lori had sent me, who got sponsors from last year, how much, and I printed out 10 copies. I have no clue where they're at. So I will get an email out to everybody, so if you had a sponsor from last year, if you could go back and, recap, with see if they are still on the list, that'd be great. About the farmer's market, I've gotta say that our tent is still a big attraction. And it's very helpful to, to get people to walk over and decide if they want to vote or where they want to put their money. Now, we did have a little Cluckville thief that thought he was being cute. He came up and got one of the balls, put one in, one of the pots, and then he put the other one up his sleeve and casually didn't look at us, just walked away. So Jack and I, Chris sat there and watched him and said, yep, he stole one of our little ping pong balls. But anyway, it's still, very, nice booth. Chris and I and Brian and a few others just said we couldn't let it go, third time, and we had to do it. So we stayed. We got lots of compliments from the fact that we were giving out free water. We went through, I think, about 5 cases of water that day. Rand had set it up and we had iced a bunch of, so we were able to get them iced. And people, oh, free, really? Yes, thank you. And some of them went out of their ways to really compliment us, so.
Big ping pong ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, bring people.
I think we're going to give away the ping pong balls, Brandon.
Yeah, yeah, Brandon. So anyway, that's the end of it.
Put Apple AirTags on them, so we have to.
There you go.
Let's talk about that.
All right, Dawn, you got anything, past president?
No, all's good. Cleaning out the garage. I got all of the wine transferred to Lance, who's going to keep it till our event this fall.
Okay.
And, so, yeah, all's good.
Perfect. Thanks. President-elect.
So in the skate park, it's cool because I ordered some of the stuff that they use to get the graffiti off is called element stop. And it literally is super sticky, and I guess the skaters were worried about them using a power washer on it. But the manufacturer that built the park sent over everything so that they can't use it, right? So what was cool though is I originally I got some because that's what they said to use, but it's cool because the county was out there doing some cleanup too, using that stuff. And so they kind of watch more than we could too. And then some of the skate guys, the kids and the adults were out there. So we got to talk more about making kind of a coalition, if you will, to help keep the park open and stuff. So, and I thought.
Eileen, club services.
So what day is Corks and Kegs? 11/9. So,
November.
so we have got the contract. I met with Ruth. We're gonna do heavy appetizers again. We've already got that done. So, what I would like to do is meet with whoever wants to be involved with Corks and Kegs. I want to rebrand it because it really isn't what we have done in the past. And I feel like it's time for a new name, for the event. And then I'd like to work on, Rand's not here, but I'd like to work on save the dates and getting that save the dates out in
Yeah.
September. To let people know when it is so that we have a little bit better turnout. So I know you want to be on the committee, Gina and Bob, right? Is there anybody else that wants, Raquel, you wanna? Okay, so I'll send an email out to you guys, and maybe we can find a time so we can brainstorm, because I really want to get that done and get it out. And then after this meeting, I'm going to reach out to Buzz In because we will not be able to be here the next 2 weeks, so we'll take care of that at Buzz In, and I'll ping Gary and let him know when that's done. And
You're doing-
I think it's Friday. And I think that's all. Oh, and we are going to be sending out a card to Rochelle shortly, when everything is done. But she got some good news, so And
You
it's
got the
not,
vote back.
thank you, yeah, so I want to send her card and I wanted everybody's input to just say congratulations, you got your vote.
We need a big car.
Okay, I will look, but I just wanted, I wanted input because I didn't want to be inappropriate because I'm not my story to tell.
She's been pretty open.
I know, but, oh, she did, okay, then I don't feel so
I
bad.
think it's
So
a music card that's like with celebration when you open it up and.
I will do my best to find something of that nature, but I just wanted to get feedback from the club first. I was thinking victory, but anyway, I just wanted to get feedback from the club first before I did that, so that will be going out as well. That's all I got.
Foundation, Bob?
I'm just focused on the martini party 2 weeks, so I'm just trying to explore takeout and things here. Have enough food, so everybody there, you're not gonna be able to eat. So
August 24th?
24th. I have one quick question. Where is the board meeting this Wednesday?
That's the food bank.
Okay.
All right, Bill's not here for community services.
Oh,
You sure can.
I'm sorry.
No,
Sure is having their community day on August 23rd from 1 to 4 at the Sherwood campus. It's free. We'll have face painting. Bring, if you have kiddos, bring them. We'll have games. We have a little giveaway bag. So yeah, thank you.
all right, it's Chris.
Yes, so International Services, I did send an email out that, a friend of mine is involved with, they call it the Hebron IT Academy, which helps orphans and people in Ukraine, get educated in technology and things like that through difficult life circumstances. And of course, Ukraine's one of those problem areas. So they would like, Steve would like to come like October 4th and kind of do a presentation. So I guess I'll work with, Kendra on that for October 4th. So
See Kendra on the screen.
that's it.
All right. Membership, I don't, Raquel, you got anything?
I don't have anything.
Okay.
I'm trying to
This
get ahold of Kyle.
This is membership month. Rotary International members.
Increase our membership by 100%.
Well, I actually, during Alphabet, all those cards that you gave me, I handed them out to prospective potential, members.
We were at the beer garden.
At the beer garden.
We were working it hard. I know.
You saw me.
I know.
What time was it in the beer garden? Was it early?
Yeah, I was
You guys standing at the door when it closed?
So it was legit, and I did follow up with Emily. So I haven't heard back, but I did follow
Yeah,
up.
a couple of really interesting folks.
I've got one point on that. I'm planning to bring, if he can make it, a gentleman, his name is Paul Adams. And unfortunately, he couldn't come today, but he's planning to go next week to Buzz In.
Okay.
And so it'd be really nice to Paul Adams, because I think he's very interested in becoming a member. He's a Rotarian from Seattle, I believe. But he's moved up here.
Okay, nice.
I don't know if it's Seattle club, but.
So I want to know, so in the beer garden, you were like in hostile territory, you're in Kiwanis and Lions territory posting for new members.
No, we were over in the VIP area.
Oh,
We were,
so
yeah.
this.
Aquafest.
We were in
Okay,
Aquafest
okay, now I know
area.
And
by the way, a lot
of the people came over and they had the Quanster sign.
They did.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, Kristen's not here, so Kendra is not here. And Rand is not here. All right, anybody else have anything for the good of the order before we, have James kick things off here?
About how we went a little, fact finding for the carnival.
Oh, yeah, what's the update on that?
Well, so as you know, I feel like I'm the most hated person in Lake Stevens during Aquafest.
No.
No
Not at all.
carnival, no carnival. We went up to the Stanwood fair and spoke to an individual. He comes up from Las Vegas. He has 40 units and he does Stanwood. So we're gonna see if he'll come up and do Lake Stevens and then do Stanwood. Not 40 units of rides, maybe like, we only had 2 up there, maybe like 4 or 5. So we're gonna start that process. And then I reached out to Rand, who, as we know, does the Arlington fly-in. And they pay $3,000 to $5,000 per pilot to come and do their stuff, but he knows 2 people that live at the air park here in Lake Stevens. And it's gonna say, hey, if this guy paid your gas, would you do a little air show broadcast?
Nice.
So.
Oh, that's cool.
That'd be great.
Trying, it's the minute it's over, we start working on next year. People don't realize that. As you know, you plan and then we're gonna do our financial review this month to see if we made any money and then determine the course for next year, but yeah.
I think your response though, when we posted that, thank you, was really good.
It was, there's always a few people that
Except for that one guy, you know what guy. I'm
There's
talking
always-
about. But overall, I thought people, the feedback I heard, the feedback that I heard as I was walking around and doing the photos and stuff was that people really liked it this year and they thought it was busier and the parade had a really good turnout, so. Kudos to you and Rachel
I
and
think the
everybody
parade
else.
was so successful that we really wanted to see what's area
I know the food vendors, everybody I talked to, every food vendor I talked to was stoked.
1,500 pounds of hamburger the guy sold.
Yeah, so I think shrinking it a little bit.
Yeah,
Create
well, I
this-
saved $20,000 of not having to buy a bunch of supplies to support a kind of an eating and cleaning area. That was a big thing. We pared it down because it saved 20.
There's a lot of that.
Oh, yeah. We need a little Ozempic.
Hey, Chris, I got maybe a little good news if you could share this. So I guess Mariah would be the one working on the budget. We collected enough cash, almost enough cash to pay the prizes for the Cornhole tournament. We collected the day up.
Yep.
So anyhow, we won't need to ask for money from Aquafest, which was the agreement we had. You collect all the user payments.
Yep.
And then we would be reimbursed, Rotary would be reimbursed for the prizes. Well, I'll just send Ryan a note that basically does the accounting and say, hey, we're good.
Yeah,
You know,
good. You know, we'll do better next year.
Yeah.
Year one is always the beginning and it gets us better.
And that was a huge hit.
Yeah.
Cornhole was a huge hit.
Yeah.
So we can expand that.
Well, when we have Susie or Suzanne coming at some point here, Kendra's working on it to pick a time for her to come and talk about what she does.
I don't think having the food trucks there,
Book her for next year.
it was much cleaner.
Yeah.
And so I think that was a smart.
Yeah, the health inspectors actually said, everybody passed with flying colors. They said it was absolutely perfect. So,
We were the first. We hit our booth first, and
Well, Rotary,
So we
we are.
would, we were the team to beat from there on out, so.
She did spend a little time doing the report in our booth, so we.
Well, it's because she couldn't hook up the Wi-Fi cleanly.
and Jim found our lost dog.
Yay!
That was your
Where
dog?
was that? Super sleuth.
That's right up to a tree.
Somebody had a little.
Makes it sound so easy.
I thought you think, I saw the, like, someone should notice their dog tours around the way.
What is that?
Only 8 feet by 12. feet.
That's
Right next to Bob's house.
Bob,
Are you looking for a new dog?
That's a fine.
Right, James, let's, do a raffle.
All right, we're gonna do our raffle. Mr. Villain Treasurer, what is our pot today?
Let's see, with the money we got today, we're up to 101.
All right. Future Rotarian Josie, please take out the red ticket, read the last 3 numbers nice and loud.
471.
Oh, it's one.
Somebody got here early.
Well, he's an honorary member, pick us on. All right. Megan?
No, he has to be in last.
I was looking at that, you know, graduated in 71, that's a good number. And he must have come early.
There you go, sir.
He must have come early.
You take the one with the hand.
I did take the one.
One and done.
All right, name badges. She doesn't have one, you don't count, name badge.
It's in my car is in the car. Whatever. I did not choose to get rear-ended, thank you very much.
Oh, that's right, on your vacation.
Yes, thank you. That was not on the agenda.
Did you ever make?
Okay,
No, but I do get my.
let's see who's happy online. Ashley. Are you happy this morning? She's finding her, not mute button. Johanna. Yes, go ahead, Johanna.
Happy Aloha Friday, everyone.
Yes, thank you. All right, Ashley, go.
Yes, I'm very happy. And I found the unmute button. I'm a struggle this morning.
Good deal. All right, thank you. Good morning. Mr. President, why are you happy this morning?
Great, happy Friday. I am officially grandpa. No. Last Saturday, little Tatum was born, 6 pounds, 3 ounces, so a little bundle of joy, so.
Mom and dad doing okay?
Mom and dad are doing great.
Grandma too?
Grandma is doing great. Grandma's over east and sitting in the pool, and so she's doing great.
You'll be there momentarily,
I
right?
will be there.
All right, good deal. Well, congratulations.
Thank
All right. You happy?
Happy that I'm going to university.
All right.
So
All right, well, we're gonna hear more about that. No doubt.
I'm happy it's Friday. Happy it's summer.
This is a Rotarian of the year.
I am happy Aquafest is over. I'm happy that, our give back to the school district was very successful. We ended up installing 14 new cameras in 2 different schools and did all the work out there.
We're so thrilled about how you two kind of got the makeover of this project.
Yeah, it was quite fun. And I'm happy now that I'll be able to start participating more in Rotary, that those 2 events are. Yeah.
Like Stevens, Rotary member to be.
Yeah, right. Okay, so I'm happy because I'm the dead, make sure you can hear me. It's a very important story. I'm happy because as I'm out running on the Colonial Trail and walking, and so I'm starting to not push it for the child. I'm like, this is so great, this is lovely, and here's why I'm happy. Because I'm willing to get my butt over to the side. That's right, because there's lots of bells of to the left, and doing. So it's, okay, all right, so anyway, so I am just so enjoying the lovely environment of it. It's beautiful, and everyone is so friendly, so that's really why I'm happy. So thank you.
Welcome. I'm very happy to have a grandson in the way. I'm gonna tell you, they took a genetic test and this is what they said about the haircut. Blue eyes, curly fine, dark blonde hair, no freckles, prefers salty over sweet snacks. First tooth after 8 months, no cilantro version. What?
Not been born yet?
No.
Oh, he's just like you, Rick.
Exactly, right?
Will like to drink.
There's some cilantro.
Oh, you want that too?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so every month, my wife and I try to take a weekend road trip, so we decided to go to Canada. Never been to Whistler, so we get to Whistler, found it very boring in the summer, it's just trees, which we have here. So then we started going around, and our goal was just to get to the hot side. I never knew it was gonna be that damn hot in Canada. And we get to this tiny town, stay the night called Catch Creek. So, only 1 hotel room left, and it's just kind of, but it was great because we spent 3 hours talking to a Canadian couple too, that asked, why would you come to Canada? It's just like Washington. And then somehow we got into the conversation that we're from Texas. And that was the most interesting conversation you can have with a Canadian. Because they asked if we carried guns openly. They asked about barn dances. I mean, it's just bizarre what other people think of different places. So we had a great time. And I thought that was just kind of a one-off. But then as I'm going to the gas station in another small town, there's two bikers that I just like to talk to the people. So I sat down and talking to them. And the whole conversation comes up again from Texas. I'm like, this is as hot as it was back in Texas. Oh, you're from Texas. Does everybody carry a gun? And I'm like, good Lord, you guys in the fear of guns. I said, you can put the gun down. It's not going to shoot anybody. And so it was a blast though, because literally one town to the next, the same conversation happened with two different stuff. That was a lot of fun though.
And we let you back in.
So it was hot. Yeah. No, but what was great though is there's a town, I won't say it right, Penticton.
Yep.
Dude, that place is incredible. The lake is awesome. I mean, the water was perfect.
Good restaurants.
Yeah, it actually was. We got blessed. We stayed there one night too.
Kind of like Texas.
It was like Texas. It's hot, but it was cheap.
I need barbecue.
There was, I don't think I eat Canadian barbecue. I don't know, I think you got to draw the line somewhere, because I don't have it.
Tastes like maple syrup.
That's when I was over in St. Louis and someone bought the sushi with them. I was like, so,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm like, where's the land at? Or where's the water? I don't know. So I'm happy to actually get a chance to make it here. I'm headed over to Coeur d'Alene next week for work, so I won't be there next week. I'm super happy because, one of my dad's buddies who's going down to Mexico with me, just had a cancer scare. And it came back, like he does have like skin cancer, but it hasn't spread or anything like that, so he can get it taken care of and still be cleared to that if not.
Where in Mexico?
Laredo, Rodney's place. I got that was the option last year and we're just, yeah, we're waiting until October because that's when the weather starts for that. So, Catherine, our underwater photographer, I will have to tell her that I have a deadline for pictures so that we can get them out into a slideshow for next year's option. I'm talking Friday and I'm glad that Aquafest is such a big about and I just love our community. Love.
I'm either retired or unemployed, I'm not sure which, but. All right, today the day, yesterday was the day.
Awesome. Congratulations. Maybe that's why you're out.
Well, now you have time to do more volunteer. No.
Oh,
It's been
no.
on order for a week.
That's what they do. Well, congratulations. Thank you. Never met place
Now, what are you
for
doing?
30 years.
On a vacation. Disney?
There's a wedding to do first.
We've got 2 vacations planned in October and November.
Well, the food bank, thank you.
Oh, and the owners say that they're gonna continue running up with it.
I think that's even better.
Well, and just to piggyback on what James said, thank you for all that you've done for Sherwood, for the community. We just appreciate your generosity.
I was still confused. Yeah.
Are the owners local?
They're in Washington, they're a group of families,
Okay.
and they own stores and the business.
Others.
But I will say, I tried to get them to sponsor, they can't do any sponsorship until they, get the store.
Yep.
And that they usually get involved with Rotary when they go to the.
Very well, then you can be there tomorrow.
Yep.
Past President, well, I'm happy. My aquaponics fish farm, both fish and plants are doing well at Creator Zone now. They appear to be very happy with the move. And over the next week, I have two lectures to do for the robotics camp about the whole farming process. Trader Joe's. So I'm looking forward to it. You got a play. All right.
Happy, just came back a little bit ago from a 2-week vacation visiting our daughter in Missoula. A little sad though because our house flooded while we were gone. Yeah,
Normal wakeboarders riding by?
no, not so much. We had a malfunction in our laundry room. It poured water for hours and hours and hours. Yeah, so it, that was not a fun phone call to get while you're hiking in Montana. The good news is so happy also because our insurance has been so far wonderful. They said, yep, it's definitely covered under your policy, and so we're trying to deal with it.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
It's yucky.
Warm out.
Yeah, we think we found more structural damage though yesterday.
Right. Right, come back with us last night.
Yes.
So, last week, Tracy mentioned, Joyce and, Donnie, member of the club and stuff, you know, and, so we went to visit her. Chris and I made up a bunch of batches of, homemade soup and made some cookies and went over there. She can't drive, so she can't go anywhere. Her house person that helps her is gone for 3 weeks. So she's just there by herself. We had a great visit. She is short, she looks good. We kind of addressed some help things, helped out with some stuff. It was a great visit. She doesn't come to a Rotary, she doesn't go to the senior center, she doesn't go to her church. She's just stuck there. So anyone can drop by it, and she can't go to the other person that she talks to all day long is gone for 3 weeks. So anyone that can just stop by and visit, and give her a call, you know, let her know you're coming, and she's just so welcoming to have someone to talk to. It's just, so I think this club needs to gather and try to, make an effort to show up. She's a great conversation. I can't believe she's got the, you know, the kind of things to talk like that. She's really sharp, really great gal, and she just needs a little of it. So, if anyone can take the time to stop by, do that.
I'll try and get her to the senior center next week.
Yeah, and then take her out. Yeah, so we're helping her, you know, I said, just give her need and stuff like that, so. But yeah, I just, figure out.
I'll try to bring her to the bus if she, wanting to do that.
Yeah.
Have you heard about Lauren lately?
What was that?
How's Lauren doing?
We took him out, Chris invited him out last night. Little chaotic. At first, he agreed, and then Chris gets there and, I can't go. Carrie's coming in tonight. No, Carrie's coming in tomorrow. No, she's coming in tonight. So they called Carrie and confirmed that she's coming in. I guess she's gonna be here by noon.
Yeah, much.
So he came to the buzz in, Bev and I went and joined them. And thinking, he's gonna eat something. Little bowl of soup was all that he wanted. And then about 45 minutes to an hour later, he's kicking him saying, I'm ready to go.
I think we're past his bedtime.
We forget that he probably goes to bed about 7:30, 8 o'clock. So, but it was a good visit.
A couple of happy bucks. I'm 30 days into retirement and I haven't failed yet. The other thing is, speaking of floods, my daughter Alicia and her 3 children and a dog and 2 cats moved in with us because she has floods. So they're with us for another 6 weeks or so, which is fun and a bit chaotic.
3 dogs and 2 cats.
Yeah, they left the bunnies at home. But yeah, it's yeah. So anyway,
You wouldn't have it in there.
glad to help her out. That's still there. Yep,
You doing okay?
you know, roller coaster. Our daughter, if you don't know, my daughter Alicia, about 14, 15 months ago, lost her husband to colon cancer. And she's only 40 years old, and she's got 3 little kids, and she's a widow. So it's, you know, not too many things in my life have been, I would classify as tragic, but that one is. It's, we can't figure out why, God knows why. ours to figure out.
Are you there? The grandkids are probably on the lake.
Yeah, they are. There. Yeah, and we have another grandchild on the way with my son and his wife are pregnant, so that's the life and death cycle. It's tough. It's really tough.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm just happy today is Friday. Hope everybody will enjoy Friday and the rest of the weekend. God bless all of you.
I had a great time at the farmer's market working, in entire shift with Chris and Jack and with Eileen, in there for a long time as well. That was the good news. The bad news is I played golf yesterday, had my worst day on playing golf. It's not about giving it up, about the 9th hole, 10th hole, 11th hole, and kept on going. And then, but it was a good experience at the farmer's market. Yeah, we had a lot of fun.
I got a question, Gary. Did any of the sand go into the actual sandbags or did?
It's not sand, it's rock.
Okay, I saw you and Chris, and I was concerned in that picture.
It was even worse than that photo.
We got that far dump truck for the sand at the shed, so we're well qualified for that now.
Doug had told me from Ace that it was sand, it was rock.
Oh.
And rock is just as solid.
Yeah.
But those weights are bigger than it's what Rand and I ordered for that. And
When you were golfing, did you at least hit your 8?
yeah, I'll know. I hit Lawrence plus a few others.
I'm glad it's Friday, and Friday's always fun, early morning, I like that, it's kind of cool, and we did take Lauren to, dinner last night, and, like he said, when I got there to pick him up, he's like, we can't go, dinner, why, you can't go, and it's just like, why is that? I got people coming in, where are you coming in from, I don't remember. I figured I was probably Carrie, so I called her, Carrie, I put her on speakerphone, oh, okay, yeah. You're coming tomorrow. I said, so now we can go to dinner. He's like 99, I think, or something. And if he turns sideways, you can't see him.
One of the side, parts of that is a young waitress. Bev asked her if she was in college, and she said, yes. She says, I go to, BYU. I said, by the way, do you happen to know Rachel O'Malley? She said, oh yeah, she's my best friend.
Things to do in the summer when you're back home. Hey, nice primary win.
Secretary of State.
Yes. Unfortunately, I gotta do my work out. And then, another dollar, I took my, mom to the Seahawk training yesterday. I had to go there, so I took her. She wandered off and chased her. Hey, okay, again.
Was she lying dancing with the players out there?
If I would have given her enough time, she would have.
Did she have a cowboy?
Yeah. She did have her cowboy hat. She has a special Seahawk cowboy hat. Yeah. And then, happy dollar, good to see, Bandit, my advice to you is since you seem to be a runner. So I used to do that trailhead and go to Machias, about 5 miles. But I don't do that often. I go the opposite direction with less people because eventually people are gonna want to talk to you and running. And then they want to lobby you, which happens to me, or, and you can't escape. So go the opposite direction.
I'll just go to the Costco and then I'll get that all out of the way.
Then you end up late for work.
I think we'll get a picture from London, from Lori.
They're in London now?
They went to London for the first day, they should be in Italy now. Staying in a castle for a couple of days. And then they go to Tuscany where the group has a home that they, a whole bunch of them are going to stay for a while.
All right, cool. So, oh, sorry. That's a fine. Yeah, it is.
All right, Happy Dollars, I won't be here for the next 3 weeks, couple weeks, I'm at training, my work, and then Anthony and I are going to cruise to watch. Dollar, are you gonna be? I'll probably be here, yeah.
All right, without further ado, our, one of our favorite guests, Josie is gonna tell us about her, Rotary experience trip to Norway. You need. Don? I need my IT help, because. I'll see what we do here.
Oh, no, that was fine.
Oh. Just email it to like Stevens, Gmail.
We need more pins.
A few more, it's not full. If you see the girl who is from Brazil, Paula, she lives at the Christmas tree in Salem. So,
Oh, one word?
just here's an info about that.
From the mom?
So if you.
Still, we could probably start out this work on the.
See what Don's got in his email there.
Really, a few more things to start processing payments.
Crazy. Crazy on himself, I like, our neighbors, so. HDMI.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. Who I'm very
Oh, I know. I got it.
Great experience with, bring my hair. Fantastic, so. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, but actually, that's one of the things here, like with these.
And where is the
Oh,
upper right now?
looks like.
All right, Josie.
No. Jag heter Josefina och så jag var till Oslo, Norge för ett år med Rotary för ett utvecklingsår. Så idag jag ska snacka med dig om liksom vad jag ska göra. So basically, hi everyone, I'm Josefina. I went to Oslo, Norway for a year with Rotary Youth Exchange Program. And today I'm just going to be talking to you a little bit about how my exchange went and some things that happened on exchange. So first things first, which Rotary Club was I in? I was in the Eiksmarka Rotary Club, which is a club within Oslo, Norway. So Oslo is the capital. There's a photo of one side of it. But I was very, very lucky to end up in a capital because I've never really lived in a city my entire life. Like Lake Stevens is a city, but it's not the biggest city ever. And I'm very grateful for that because I did not know I can't really handle big city living. I'm very much a small town girl, but that's all right. So over here in Eiksmarka, there is, no, okay. Basically, in this section, our Rotary Club was right here along this area of Oslo. So it was on one of the borders closest to my first host family. And the way that Norway is divided up is through districts or counties. So like how we are in Sahamish County, that would be Oslo County. And it's kind of divided through that. So places I have been, Norway, of course, I went to 5 different places within Norway. So I went to visit different exchange students that lived either around or outside of Oslo. And I also got to go up to Trondheim, which is where my family comes from. So I got to meet my aunts and cousins and uncles. So it was a really, really great time. And I even got to meet my grandfather's cousins. So it was really great to build that connection from the US to Norway again, because that hasn't happened since the 40s. So it's been a little bit. Outside of Norway, I was able to visit Sweden, Spain, Italy, and Germany. And technically, going to Germany, we drove there. So technically, I have visited Denmark and Amsterdam because you have to drive through those. But given the fact that we didn't stay more than 2 to 3 hours, I was like, we'll save it for the next year. So, but I was very lucky because my first host family and my second host family, they weren't from Norway. They were not Norwegian. My first host family, my host father is German, and my host mother is Spanish. And so during the different school breaks, we went down to visit their family. So my first trip outside of the country was in Spain, and we got to visit Zaragoza, and I got to see what it was like in Spain, at least on the west side. And I was just really grateful for that. And then during Christmas, I was able to visit my host father's family over in Germany, because when you're on exchange, you don't come back unless you're coming back forever. So I got to visit his family and got to visit a lot of East Germany, because that's where they live and that's where he comes from. I met my mother in Italy, thankfully, because she was doing, I want to say the word in Spanish, that would not make sense to you guys. A trip, she was doing a trip to Italy with other teachers, because there they learned how to like take kids outside of the US when they go on trips. And my mother has been able to go on 2 school trips this year, one with the Germany class, and like the German students. And then also with her Spanish class, I went down to Ecuador last month. So that's where she was doing all her training, was in Italy. And then in Sweden, I got to spend a day in there. It's actually very common for Norwegians to just drive over to Sweden, because not only are things a lot cheaper, like alcohol and sweets, but also it's just a little fun road trip that they do every once in a while. So that was kind of fun to see and participate in that culture. I actually ended up going to 2 different schools when I was in Norway. So the first school is over on my right, and it's Oslo Handelsgymnasium. And that school dates back to 1856. And that school was it wasn't in the heart, but it was right behind the castle in Oslo. So it has a lot of history to it. back in World War II. It was actually taken over by the Germans and the Nazis, and they actually set up in that school. So it has, during class, people, like tourists would come in and they would have whole events inside while we were taking French. It was very odd, but it was really cool to see. It was a very, very traditional school. I don't know how many people have been to frat-like events or sororities or Greek life, but that is like the high school equivalent. So it was a very, very drastic change from what I experienced here, because here, we have 6 classes a day, we have a set schedule. In Norway, it sets you up so you know what it's like to be in university, where it has block classes and it has 2 to 3 classes per week with that, or you have 1 class per week and you just do it every week. And on Wednesdays, we would only have 1 class per week, and it would rotate from which day that class, or which class would land on that day. And so every 5th Wednesday, you got a day off of school because that teacher had to teach another class. So it's a very interesting, way of living and way of teaching. And I was like, wow. And, I was talking to the students about it because they're like, oh, is like in the US, is it like what we see in the movies? Do you really have 6 classes every day? And I was like, yeah. They were like, oh, do you retain much? And I was like, sometimes. But then the second school I was able to switch to was Edvard Munch Videregående. And there it was very much more of an art-based school. That's another thing about high schools. Certain high schools do better in certain topics than others. So my first school was very economics-based and very much business-based, because those kids are more rich because it's on the west side of Oslo, and they're going to take their parents' businesses over someday. So they primarily focus on that. Versus in my second school, it was actually where the old art museum used to be. Edvard Munch, the artist who did like the spring, he used to, or they used to hang his paintings in this museum before they switched to the new museum. So it was really nice to see a big switch. And it was still the same in the sense that, we had block classes, but it wasn't that every 5th Wednesday you would get a day off. It would just be whenever, schedules didn't align with every teacher. I had 2 host families during my stay. So my first host family is over here. That's us in Germany. So it includes my host mother, Melissa. She's from Spain. My host father, Thomas. And then a set of twins who were 15. So this is Samuel, Zoe. And then the boy that I switched with, his name is Noah. He actually went to Chilliwack in Canada. And then Mateo, which is the youngest boy. So a lot of fun to have a 9-year-old in the house again, I'll tell you that much. I was only used to teaching them, not used to living with them. And then in my second host family, this is kind of a mix. My family actually got to visit me while I was up in Norway. So I was very thankful for that. They came up for Easter, so this is our Easter dinner. But we have my host mother, and it was actually quite interesting because in Norway, it's not common for people to be married. So, Melissa and Thomas are not married, but they're just together. And so my host mother, there is a host father, but he lives in Spain. This is Susanna, and then she lives with her sister who lives in the upstairs part of the house. Her name is Annalyn. I have a host sister who is around my age. Her name is Rose. And then my host brother, Oscar, which is around the same age as Diego. So it was really interesting to see. And then these other people, they're just family friends that they've known ever since moving up to Norway. And it was actually quite interesting because in my first host family, I was placed on one side of Oslo, and then my second host family was on the exact opposite border. So it took a while coming to school every day, but it was really fun getting to navigate and see all different parts of the US, getting to use public transport. What a blessing. Having walkable roads. What a blessing. I was like, wow, I don't have to worry about getting hit or worry about people, not respecting the rules of the road, because everyone just does. I was like, man, I guess there are some benefits for kids not being able to drive until they're 18. Oh, wow.
Your mom and dad are.
Yeah, that's when they visited, or they visited me during Easter time. It was real nice. lots of fun. Sit in May is their Constitution Day, so it's on the 17th of May, and that is me in the regalia. It's the costume that we have. It's called a bunad, and each bunad is from a specific area in Norway. So this is my family's bunad. It's my mom's from when she graduated high school. And it's from Ullendal, which is up north near Trondheim. So it's further up. But that's me in front of the palace, and unfortunately, the person right behind me is blocking the king, queen, and princes. But they are there because my mom said, I gave birth to you, so you're one. The only thing you need to do to pay me back is just to take a photo of you and my bunad in front of the palace, in front of the king and queen. And I said, I don't know if I can do that. And then I did. So it's a huge parade. It's a huge party the entire day. And it's actually quite interesting because in Norway, people are known for being more reserved and quiet. But here, everyone is just so drunk that they don't even care, and they say hi to you in public. And it's just so nice to really have that sense of connection, because I didn't really know how much I missed it. Because in the US, like how you guys were talking about your days earlier today, or like earlier in your week, of, oh, you know, I just went up to these people because I like talking to them. You don't know them, they're strangers, you tell each other about your whole lives. They don't do that in Norway. So it was really nice to kind of have that sense of connection and sense of belonging again. And it was a really good way to warm up coming back to the States, because it was a huge contrast. Here's some food that were some of my favorite or very big staples. And there's actually, I brought some lefse, which is a big part of Norwegian food. It's made out of like a potato pancake. And then we have butter, which is mixed in with cinnamon and sugar. So it's really yummy. So make sure to grab some before you leave today. But here we have which is shrimp sandwich bread. And it's actually really yummy. It's little shrimps mixed in with like mayonnaise and dill and lemon. And then you put that over a toasted piece of bread. That's actually a lot better than I probably made it to. But one interesting thing is that in Norway, you use utensils for almost everything. Like it's very seldom that you use your hands. So this is actually the first time I ever used a utensil when eating bread. And it was kind of weird at first, but it was something I got over quick, because that's how we eat a lot of our sandwiches, is open face. Here it's really hard to see, but this is a pulsa med lompa. So it's basically just a hot dog, but with that lefse pancake as its bun. So it's actually quite good. It's probably the national dish, being so fair. Everyone has pulsa with lompa when they go skiing, which is what I was doing. My first time skiing, actually. And I accidentally took out 2 kids going down the kid hill. So that was hard. Here is a bunch of different types of candy that I was given by my host brother. He bought me candy as like a welcome to Norway gift. So I thought that was really sweet. And then over here we have vafler and royal iskrem. So waffles with jam and a type of cream. And then also here we have, I do not like it, but it is cheese. And it's kind of hard to see. I think the flag's blocking it, but the cheese is brown cheese. So it's caramelized goat cheese. It has a very interesting taste. You either like it or you don't. And then ice cream, but
I don't see any ludicrous on your favorite meal.
thank the Lord. Nah, I cannot. My grandfather, he's the Norwegian one. And I remember during his Christmas party, he would serve lutefisk, and my older brother actually tricked me into eating it. He was like, no, it just tastes like salmon. And I was like, oh, I like salmon. I was fish free for like 2 months after that. These are some funny signs that I saw. This one with the dog on it, it says missing dog, and then the name is Theo, and it says like where it was last seen. but that dog is actually a meme, and it's not a real poster, but I thought it was so funny because it was hanging up in the school, like somebody just put it up. And then I kept on seeing some, and that was at my first school. And then I went to my second school, and that poster was still there. And I was like, okay, I missed something within Norwegian youth, but that is okay. And then this first sign over here, that's actually me standing in front of a men's clothing store with the same last name as mine. So I was like, oh, no. So that was actually pretty cool to see. Udegaard,
Mom didn't tell you you had a side business going on.
yeah, no, apparently not. So I hope to inherit stuff soon, help pay for that college, you know. But Udegaard is actually a not very common last name, but it's more common than that. So it's really interesting and really funny to see people like their reaction when they found out I had a Norwegian last name. They were like, oh, that kind of makes sense. And I'm like, yeah, it's crazy. It's like Norwegian can go anywhere in the world. So for the exchange students, this was our first meeting together. We have exchange students. There's 4 of us from the US. 3 of them came from Canada. There was 1 from Switzerland, 1 from Italy, 1 from Mexico, 1 from Paraguay, and then 3 from Brazil. Oh, and 2 from Argentina. And then there's also 2 Norwegians in this mix, and they went on exchange the year prior, so they were there to kind of help guide us through, our first meeting together. And it was honestly such a great group. In total, there's only 15 of us. And then we ended up actually later getting a girl from Australia, so that was actually that was a real fun. She was really sweet. But overall, it was really interesting to see us all come together because we all came from different backgrounds, a lot of us aligned differently when it came to different topics. But Rotary really did help bring us together, and it really helped, become friends in situations where we didn't think we'd have friends. Like now I can say I have a best friend who lives in Switzerland and a best friend who lives in Brazil. And before Rotary, I would not be able to do that. I wouldn't even know about the wonders of, I don't know, Argentina and Paraguay unless these people hadn't gone on exchange. So it was really, really nice to have that sense of unity and sense of belonging, And actually, one of the girls from Canada, she's also in District 50/50. So this weekend is our inbound exchange meeting. So we'll spend the weekend up in Quebec, and I'll be able to see her again. So it's very, very lucky. Very excited to do so. But yeah, this was our first meeting of 4. We had 2 mandatory meetings and then 2 optional meetings, one of them which was a ski camp where we all learned how to ski downhill and cross country. That was a lot of fun. Probably one of the top 10 scariest moments of my life was going down during cross country, but that is okay. And that is all. So Tack för mig is our way of saying thank you for me. But yeah, that was my exchange year over in Norway. Thank you. Yeah.
You talked about going to university.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
I'll be going to Western this fall. I've been waiting for this moment since like the 1st grade when my grandparents first showed me Western, or that I can remember. My grandparents met there. My uncle went there. It's been in the family for a while.
Your mom's parents or dad?
Mom's parents.
Oh,
Yeah. So, but I'm really excited for that. I'll be going in 3 weeks, less than 3 weeks. So
Are you staying up there? Are you staying up there or are you commuting?
I'm staying up there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Your house, where's you get assigned?
Oh, I'm in Fairhaven.
Oh,
Yeah.
What are you studying?
I'm not announcing my major yet, but it will be multilingual education or English education for multilingual learners, which basically just means I'll be an English teacher for kids who don't speak English. Because I hope, the dream is that I go back to Norway one day and bring the family back. We'll learn to do so.
We call that back to our APSL.
Yeah,
That's
just
awesome.
want to be like my mom. Oh, and then I have some gifts to bring back from Norway. So first, we are presented with the Nesbian Rotary, flag. Yeah. Nesbian Rotary flag. This is where we had our ski camp all together. And they were a really sweet group and they just did so much for, you know, us as exchange students, and they're able to do that trip every single year, and so it's so, yeah, it's just so nice that those people take time out of their break to help just random exchange students learn how to ski down there. So sweet. Chokda, this is from a place where I was actually an ambassador to future exchange students. Those kids, it was just from District 51 to 13. And so it was only 7 or so kids, but it was really nice to get to meet them and help the next round of exchange students go. And then our last one, this is actually Rotary International. So this is from my host Rotary. They were supposed to give me one from them, but then they ran out. And so they were like, this is our next best thing. And I'm like, that's okay. So it was actually really fun. They helped me out a lot and I got to attend meetings weekly. And it was actually really funny because for those first 3 months when I was at that first school, I didn't really quite make a lot of friends because the school was very traditional in their values and in their ways, and I just didn't really match up, which is why I was able to switch to that second school. But within those first 3 months, whenever I attended those Rotary meetings, it was like hanging out with my friends, except the youngest person in Rotary over there was 75. So I was saying a lot of fun old man phrases before doing stuff. But yeah, that's actually a very big difference, at least for me, when it came to Rotary, because here it's a very solid mix of both men and women, of both, I mean, of just all ages. But then there it was primarily only white males above the age of 75. Our oldest member was actually 98. And he showed up every day. He drove his little Tesla. And I remember brought him back home, you know, I was like, oh my gosh, we have this too. But it was good. I really would not give that year up for anything. It was probably the best thing I could have done for myself, and I had a lot of great learning and teaching moments. I gained a lot of skills. I got to use a lot of skills. And yeah, actually, yesterday was a year from when I landed in Rome. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you obviously have been a great representation for us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Point to add, you can't hang it on your coat, but you can put it in there somewhere.
Drill a hole in it.
You need to come back and give
Yeah,
us
sure.
the presentation of what is all on your jacket and what all that.
Oh, yeah. Do afterwards, but I don't.
That's why you ended up going downhill so fast, you know.
Yeah, this is right here, so don't forget to grab that.
All right, anything else? If not, we're done. Thanks, everybody.
It's always nice to, wake up and see introduce urgent, allegedly acquired injury, or steal back what is.
No, I've done it on the bus.